So today we're doing a class on the heart, mainly just focusing around the heart center. So I think we've all experienced quite a lot of shifts around us at the minute. Life is changing constantly, and we're in a space of deep transformation, and big shifts are going on in so many levels. And I think when we have so much going on externally and we're not in our normal routines, maybe we've found a nice routine now, but sometimes we can find that when we haven't got our normal routines that we're used to for years, we can start to feel like a lot of pressure around us, and then we tend to close off. So this class is designed for you to expand more into your heart, to open physically around your heart space, and to really allow some breath and some light, some space to enter into your heart center, your fourth chakra, your Anahata chakra. So we can really start to dig down into our authenticity, our truth, our inner knowing, what it is that is sitting heavy on our chest, maybe what is coming up as we're feeling these shifts and changes around us, and really allowing some space for that to come up. So just holding more space for ourselves as we go through such a changeable and maybe turbulent time. So you can just start by making sure that you've got enough space all around you. You're not feeling closed off at all. You're feeling a spaciousness around where you're practicing. You can start to close through your eyes if you haven't already. And just take a few breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth. Just take as many breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth as feels good for your body today. Any sighs, yawns, anything is welcome that you need to release, to let yourself come into a clear space, to let yourself drop into your body, drop into your heart space. And just taking a moment to tune in and notice how you're feeling in this very moment. So not trying to hold, not trying to grasp, not trying to cling to anything that's coming up for you, but just acknowledging, becoming aware of where you're at in this present moment. And when we can start from this space of understanding where we're at, where our start point is, we can really practice with a compassionate and kind heart. So we want to really keep that space of kindness open for ourselves as we move through our practice today, and not pushing ourselves past our edges, past our boundaries or limits, but finding where we can expand and open more, whether that's mentally, physically, emotionally. So maybe seeing if you can just push down gently into your forearms, the backs of your hands and your elbows, and peel your heart a little bit up away from the mat, and then try to glide your shoulder blades down your back, spread them wide and let them shuffle down into the mat, so you feel all space around your shoulder blade area open up. You can feel a little bit more grounded and supported into the earth. Take a nice deep breath in. Sigh the breath out, allowing your body to take up more space through the arms, the legs, the spine. Take another nice deep breath in, filling up through the heart space this time. Exhale to soften through the chest, soften through the arms, the jaw, the face, soften through the torso and the legs, the feet. Allow your body to relax more into the support of the floor, feeling your body grounded and held. Breathe in here, just allowing your breath to feel like a nice wave-like motion, inhaling down into the belly. The belly inflates and expands, opening into the rib cage all the way to the upper chest. Nice full breath in. And as you exhale, you're feeling your chest relax, your belly is relaxing, your rib cage is coming back into the center. You feel your shoulders soften even more. And just watching the breath flow in, flow out. Taking a moment to really arrive in this space on your mat, in your body, your home. So as we notice the body moving with the in and exhales, just bringing your mind and your awareness into the mind's eye and visualizing your body as in a body of water. So this could be a lake, it could be the ocean, it could be a big pool of water. And noticing the body sinking down into this feeling of liquid fluidity, expansion, unity. Keep noticing the waves as your breath as you move into this visualization of your body becoming a body of water. Notice how the waves look as they roll in and out and move. It could be gentle on the edge of a lake. It could be more fluid and expansive like the sea or the ocean. And as you allow your body to drop further into this unifying body of water, feel the waves rolling up your entire body as you inhale from your feet to your head. And as you exhale, feel that wave roll down from your head to your feet, relaxing your body further. Inhale, chest rise, waves rise. Exhale, chest sinks, waves sink. Now bring your awareness into your heart space. Noticing as you inhale, the chest opens and rises. And as you exhale, the heart space is sinking and softening. And when you to visualize with your next inhale, a lotus bud begin to push through into the heart space as your breath rises in. And as you exhale, the lotus bud pushes through a little bit more as the chest relaxes. Inhale, lotus bud pushes through a little bit more. Exhale, chest is sinking, noticing the lotus bud push all the way through. And as you inhale now, noticing the lotus bud and the heart space lighting up as it begins to expand. The lotus petals begin to open slowly, unfolding a couple, falling open as you exhale. Inhale, the chest, lotus, the heart space lighting up. And as you exhale, more petals slowly opening, slowly falling away. Inhale and exhale. Keep seeing each space, each petal gently unraveling and unfolding from your heart center. And as you focus and watch into this heart space, you notice that the lotus is actually 1,000-petaled lotus, opening up, connecting into the crown center. And as we connect into our crown, our mind, and into our heart, we tune into our intuition and our higher guidance. And as we do this, we start to begin to see the petals fully open and the lotus fully bloom in the heart space. And looking deep into the color of the lotus, what do you see? No judgments, just acknowledgement. Noticing how the color blooms as you focus into this heart space. Looking deep into the center of the lotus, without judgment, what do you see? Breathing and feeling the radiance, the beauty, and the blossoming of this lotus. And in reflection, seeing your own blooming heart. Asking yourself, what does your heart now ask of you? And don't judge, but just listen. From here we can set our intention for the class, and I would like to suggest that maybe you offer your class as a dedication to someone that needs the healing of your practice or the energy that you create on your mat today. Or maybe you would like to set an intention as to what came up when you looked deep into the lotus and heart. Just take a few moments and then repeat your dedication or intention to yourself 3 times. And releasing the focus of the meditation, of your intention, you can now slowly start to bring some movement into the body. We're going to bring our right knee gently into the chest, just allowing a nice stretch on the right side of the back and a compression onto the right side of the chest. You can slowly start to draw your right knee in, holding around the shin or the back of the thigh. Try to keep your shoulders down away from your ears. Give it a nice squeeze down as you exhale. Relaxing the jaw, relaxing your eyebrows. Breathe in fully into the heart, into the belly. One more breath in. Maybe you like to just circle through the ankles, maybe wriggle through the toes, waking up the limbs and the legs. And then we can switch over, extending your right leg out long, bringing your left knee into the chest, hold around the shin. Relax the shoulders, relax the neck, the jaw. Take a nice deep breath in, and as you exhale, you can squeeze that leg a little bit closer down towards the body. And then again, maybe circling through the ankles, wiggling through the toes. Nice, then we can extend that left leg out long. From here, bring in the soles of the feet closer up towards the body. We're going to come into butterfly from here. So if you just walk your feet flat to the mat, and then you can take the soles of the feet to touch and let the knees drop apart. So here's where you might want to use your cushions underneath the knees or just beside the hip. So if you bring it And try to wedge it right up against the leg so you feel nice and supported both sides. Or you might want to use your bolster or pillow so it comes underneath both knees and rests behind the backs of the thighs. And then with your arms, we're going to come into your cactus arms. So if you take your arms into a bent elbow, your hands are going to rest just on the floor beside your head. Or if it feels comfortable for you to have a little bit more of an extended cactus, you can take your elbows a little bit higher. If that doesn't feel good for you today, then you can just take the arms out to the side, palms facing up, and take them just below your shoulders. So again, we want to try and get as much space into the heart. So keeping the shoulder blades relaxing down the back will help to open all the way around the sides of the chest. So just making sure that you feel comfortable here. We're going to be here for just 3 minutes. We're about 45 seconds in or so now. So as you come into your first shape, just noticing how the body feels as you move into a different position. Acknowledging if any areas feel holding or that they're gripping. See if you can really drop all of the muscles, any tension or tensegrity in the muscles, and let your body just surrender to gravity. No holding, no resisting. And if any areas do feel like they can't completely relax and let go, just being mindful of those areas as you practice today, not to push too far, not to go past that edge. So in Yin, we're always trying to find as much expansion, finding our edges, but never working into any pain or into any sharp sensations. We want to feel a stretch and expansion and opening in the muscles, the tissue, the skin, the joints, the tendons and ligaments, but never working into any form of pain or sharp stabbing feelings. And this is where we can start to find a softness and a stationary pause. So as we pause in a shape for a period of time, it allows the body to slowly let go, surrender, find space again. And as we move through the body, we're noticing any areas that can't let go. And we try to focus our breath. Our intention is to relax. As we breathe in, we find spaciousness. And as we exhale, we find softness. We want to really allow the breath to help move the tissues. We're just here for another 2 rounds of breath. Before we slowly allow ourselves to move out of the shape, we can start to slide the arms down, taking the hands down beside the knees. You might want to use your hands to bring the knees up to center if that feels good. And we can move any props out to the side. And just taking your feet about mat width apart. Knees are bent, feet are flat to the mat. You can start to sway gently through the knees, just relaxing through the hips. Nice twist coming into the spine. If it feels nice to pause on one side and take a breath, you can do that. Just allowing ourselves to move through each side equally. So as we come through each shape, I'll offer a little space to rebound the body, where it comes back into a more neutral position. And this is often where we find a lot of shifts happening. So really pay attention to coming in and out of the postures slowly, to watching any changes that happen as you move out of the shape. How does the mind feel? Nice, just taking one more sway side to side. And then from here, we can slowly bring the knees into the chest. Again, hold around the shins or around the backs of the thighs. Might feel nice to raise the head, neck, shoulders off of the mat, just to stretch the back of the heart. I quite like to flex my feet, hold onto the feet and pull my chin closer towards the knees. Gives my back a nice stretch, but I want to relax my shoulders. And then we can breathe into the back of the heart. As you exhale, squeeze the belly button down to the spine. See if you can compress yourself a little bit smaller. We're just taking 2 more breaths here. And then from here, we can start to take the hands behind the backs of the knees if they aren't already. We're crossing the ankles over. We're just taking a few rocks up and down the spine. So use your legs to really swing you up and down. If it feels good for you to take the legs all the way up over the head, feel free to touch the back of the mat if you have space. If it's too much to roll up and down the spine, we can just rock side to side. We're just taking 2 more up and down the spine or side to side, and then we're going to come all the way up to a seat and over onto all fours. Nice, so we're coming into a cat-cow. So just make sure that your knees are stacking underneath your hips and your hands are underneath your shoulders. So you've got a nice strong base. Push into, you can have the feet either toes tucked or feet flat. I prefer feet flat. Stretch my ankles. Try to get the hands spreading into the mat. And as we inhale, we're going to allow the belly to drop toward the mat, lifting the tailbone, lifting the gaze. So you can inhale. And as you exhale, rounding the spine, tucking tailbone towards the chin or the nose. Pulling the belly button back to the spine, exhale fully. And just moving through your cat-cows. Trying to find a length in the spine. So we're stretching either end of the spine away or towards, depending whether you're in extension or flexion. Noticing how the spine feels. Each vertebrae wants to pull away from the next. Trying to find a nice opening in the chest, in the upper back. So we can start to maybe move a little bit more into the cat-cow. So if it feels good to pause and shift side to side, it might feel nice to wriggle in your cat or in your cow. Just taking any movements that might feel nice. Maybe barrel rolls might feel good, so you're taking more of a circular motion with the rib cage. Making sure you do a few to one direction and then switch the direction. We're taking about 10 more breaths, so just take your time. Move mindfully, really tune in to what's going on around your heart, your spine, your hips, your shoulders. This last round of breath. Nice, and then coming back to neutral spine. Just taking toes, big toes to touch, and knees are going to come towards the edge of your mat, and you can sit back to your heels. If you have anything going on with the knees, you might like to take your blanket and bring it behind the back of the knee so you've got a little wedge. It's quite nice to also rest onto. And then you can tuck it underneath the knees if you need extra padding. And from here, we're going to just allow your hands to come as far forward as good onto fingertips. Really tuck the tailbone under and stretch your head away so you're getting a nice long spine. Abs, abdomen slightly engaged. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, really push back into the seat, relax the stretch. We can start to shift the body a little bit more over to the left side of the mat, and we're going to thread the right arm through to come into a twist. So as you come down, it might feel a little bit uncomfortable on the neck, so you might want to add a cushion to support the neck and give your shoulder a little bit more space. And as much as you can, threading over to that left side, so you feel a bit of an opening into your right groin as well. So your left hand can either then stay in front of the face, or you can stretch the arm long. If you already have enough space and flexibility in the body, and it feels good for you to stretch a bit deeper into the upper back, you can also reach your left arm up and over to the opposite side of your mat, and then you can just gently pull on the mat. So you're feeling a good stretch across your upper back. We're going to be here for 3 minutes each side. About a minute in already. So just notice again how your body feels as you come into the shape. If you need to adjust at all. And if it helps for you to gently close through the eyes, this allows your nervous system to switch off and start to decompress. Allow yourself to really drop into the space of your heart. So you're breathing in to expand into the back of the heart, as much across the collarbones and center of the heart at the front as you can. And if your arms extended overhead, the left side, you're going to be also breathing more into the left side rib cage. Coming through our last 2 rounds of breath on this side. If you've taken your hand left side up, just bringing your left hand again in front of your face. Take your time. You can slowly push into that left hand, unraveling, coming back up. You might want to take a little counter twist. You may need to adjust your legs. Just taking as much movement to help you realign as you can, and then you're going to come onto the left side. So again, find a nice long neutral spine. You can start to thread your left arm through, come into rest, down onto your left shoulder. And then right hand can either stay in front of the face or it can start to slide up. If it feels nice, you can take your arm across and hold on to the mat on the opposite side and gently pull on the mat. This just helps to stretch a little bit more around your lats, the shoulder blade area. And then allowing your body to come inward, breathe in, noticing any differences on this right side, on the left shoulder. And the more we start to bring awareness into our heart space around the heart area, the more focus and attention we can start to bring into the heart on a mental and emotional level. So we can start to feel what's going on around the heart space energetically. If there's any resistance, if there's anything that feels like it's shielding or doesn't want to open, we can slowly start to soften all around our heart physically. And as we do anything to the physical body, this in turn is always going to affect the mind and the emotions. And sometimes we need to move into the physical before we can see a change in the mind and the emotions. Just here for about another 45 seconds. Keep breathing, surrendering and dropping. Notice if anywhere has tensed up. And the hips, the shoulders, the jaw, the eyebrows, can you relax? And just taking our last 2 rounds of breath on this side. And then if you've taken the right hand up overhead, just bringing the hand to the floor, taking a breath in. As we exhale, gently lifting up, unraveling. And we're going to come to bring the knees into center. And then you can take yourself down, prone to the mat, so flat onto your belly. Just extending the legs out, taking that stretch, slow roll down to the floor. If it feels good, your hands can come down beside your hips, turn your face to the side, or you might want to make a pillow with your hands and rest your forehead onto your hands. Whatever feels best for your shoulder, just coming into a rebound to allow the body to come back into neutrality. Noticing how your body feels as you move here. If you've turned your face to one side, just turning the face to the opposite. Any sighs, yawns are welcome. Nice, so from here you can gently just prop yourself up onto your elbows, coming into Sphinx pose. Just whilst you have a look at what we're doing next, we're going to come into broken wing pose, which is a strong stretch on the pectoral muscle, on the inside of your chest, inside the shoulder and armpit. So we want to take, potentially, if this feels good for you, the elbow in line with the shoulder next to your body. So you're going to be here. We'll then stretch the arm open so it goes as far away from the body as you can. You might need a blanket or a pillow to rest your head onto. And we want to roll onto our right hip So as we do that, we're stretching all of the muscles around the arm and shoulder. If that feels too strong for you to roll away from, you can take your hand a little bit lower, or you can take your arm straight. And the closer your arm is to your leg behind you, the less strong it is going to be on your arm and shoulder. So if you're not sure, I'll just show you what we're doing again. Hand comes down, elbow pulls out, hands in line with your head. You're pushing with your left hand and rolling onto your right hip. And then your left leg can just rest behind, or if you can get the foot to the floor, you can take a bent knee, foot to the floor, and let your body weight roll back. Again, if that's too strong, just modify and take your hand, arm straight, and your hand down beside your right hip, lower down. We're just here for 2 minutes each side. Try as much as possible to breathe into your upper chest, your pectoral muscles, into the armpit. We want to allow the armpit to melt closer toward the floor. We're just here for about another 30 seconds. Keep breathing, keep relaxing. This is a very strong stretch, especially if you work on a computer or you drive, or if you have the tendency to round the upper back, closing off the heart space. This is a strong heart opener around the sides of the heart. Try to relax the jaw, relax the eyebrows. We're just here for another 2 more rounds of breath. Nice, so if your foot's on the floor behind you, you can just start to bring the leg over and slowly roll back onto your front. Take your right arm down beside your hip, just rest that arm there for a moment. Breathe, relax your shoulders. Notice how the body feels each side, if there's any difference. And then we can shift the hips a little bit over to the right side of the mat. Taking a bent elbow on the left side, or straight arm comes back if that feels more comfortable for your shoulder, for your arm, your chest. And then again, we can roll, pushing into the right hand this time, onto our left hip. Right leg comes behind. Either toes touch or foot comes flat if you have the space to. Noticing if you can melt the armpit a little bit closer to the floor, if you can roll any further back, if you can relax any further through the sides of the chest. We're just here for about another 20 seconds, 4 more rounds of breath. open. You'll feel a lot of tension around the heart. That's why we're so used to closing off. If you're a very open-hearted person, very connected to the world around you, you may feel a lot of spaciousness around your heart. So just paying attention to how it feels as you move through each area surrounding the heart. So when you're ready, you can slowly start to let your right leg come back, rolling onto your front, coming down, relaxing your left hand beside your hip, just taking a moment to rest. And then when you're ready, you can slowly start to bring your hands either side of your chest, pushing up, coming onto all fours. We're going to make our way into a supported bridge from here. So if you grab your bricks, I'm going to use 2 bricks stacked, and they want to go onto your sacrum. So it's the lowest point in your spine, and we want them to go widthways. So if you have them just beside you, come to the middle of your mat. Let yourself roll down to the mat. Find a little shift down of your hips so your spine's long, gentle tuck of the chin to the chest. We can bring the bricks in. So we want to lift up the hips, and we're trying to just slide the bricks underneath your lower back. If you haven't got bricks, you can use 2 cushions or a nice thick pillow, or if you have a book, you can do that. So you want to feel it resting just onto your sacrum, that nice big flat bone on the lowest end of your spine. You may need to wriggle through the shoulders just so you feel comfortable here. And then the feet can either turn out or slightly turn the toes in and let the knees drop in. It might feel nice to take the feet off of the mat so your feet are nice and wide. Doesn't matter too much about the legs. It might even feel nice to shift them a little bit further away. So with your arms, I'm going to invite you to either stretch your arms straight up overhead or take in cactus arms again. So the elbows are bending in line with the shoulders and the hands are resting just beside the face. And we want to feel, again, the shoulder blades are gently pulling in and sliding down the back so they're nice and wide. And the heart space is open and you can breathe fully into the heart center. We're going to be here for 3 minutes or so more. So just allow yourself to really drop all of the weight into that stretch across the top of your shoulders. This is a lovely one to release neck and shoulder tension, where the weight of the body is just gently pressing on the muscles along this top ridge. And we're also getting a nice flush of energy and chi as the legs are slightly higher, the hips are higher than the heart. So the blood and the chi is going to start to flood down towards the heart to be replenished. So again, you can close through the eyes if that feels nice and just start to breathe again into the heart space. Any sighs might feel nice here. Just here for about another minute more. If it feels nice for you to walk the legs out longer and either rest on the heels or rest the toes out, you might want to stretch the legs out long to open up the hip a little bit more. Only if that feels good. If the arms need to move position, feel free to bring the hands lower down in line with the shoulders if that feels better. Or you might want to interlace the hands and just relax your hands above your head onto the floor. So as we go through challenging times and turbulent times, it's so easy for us to close off because we already feel vulnerable. But what we actually need to do in times like this is to really drop into the heart, not close off from our own heart, and find our own truths, find our authenticity, and really figure out what it is that we need in every moment in the now. Every day is different. Every day we might feel up, down, out of sorts. We might feel great. We might feel worried one minute, happy the next. But when we can really drop into the safety of our own heart and really honor what it is that's sitting in there, we don't shy away from our truths. We don't dismiss what we need. We start to feel strong in our vulnerability because we hold space for ourselves rather than dismissing what we feel. We can actually start to build upon that. And then maybe you might start to notice the shoulders relaxing more, or the chest space more easy to breathe into, as the body starts to then respond to the mind, and the mind's exchange of energy with the heart. We're just taking another 2 or 3 more breaths. If you've extended your legs out long, you can slowly start to wiggle your feet back to the mat, walking your feet in slowly. You can gently bring your arms down. If it feels nice to lift up into a higher bridge, or you might want to hold onto the feet or just rest your hands by your feet and squeeze your glutes, lift your hips up, lift up through the heart a little bit more. We're going to all lift up anyway to shift the bricks or the props out. Nice. If it feels good to take a little bit more of a stretch into your bridge, you can do that. Just take a couple more breaths. If not, slowly rolling down and coming into semi-supine position. Just pause in here for a moment. Allow your lower back to relax into the floor. Allow your arms to relax. And then you can either pause, or you can maybe take some knee sways if that feels nice, or bring the knees in, hug the knees in and take some back rolls, or just a hug. Whatever feels nice for you to rebound, just taking a couple of moments. If you lift it up into your bridge, just coming down. And then when you're ready, we're going to roll to the side and gently push ourselves up to a seat. So coming either into a forward fold of your choice. You can take either a seated forward fold or a standing forward fold, whatever feels more comfortable. If you're taking a standing forward fold, it might be nice to bring your sit bones to a wall, and then you can have a slight bend into the knees. The belly can relax onto the thighs so you're fully supported. Your feet are about hip width apart, and then you can just slowly melt over the legs. Let your head relax. Hands can either rest here, or you can cross your elbows, or maybe interlace your hands behind the back of your head. If it feels more comfortable to work from a seat, you may need a little blanket underneath your hips. So you might want a blanket under the knees, or you might want a bolster underneath the knees. We want to just allow the body to flop and fold over. So however feels comfortable for you, maybe holding onto the feet might feel nice. You might want to press into your kidney 1 point, which is in between the big toe and the second toe. If you come here and go down, just where the big toe ball finishes, there's a point in there. Both feet you can press if you can reach to that point. For your kidney And it wants to feel a very slightly tender point. So once you've found a tender point, that's, you know, that's that. And then you can let your head drop, or if it feels more comfortable, use your brick to rest your forehead onto. Maybe it feels more comfortable to be slightly higher. Wherever you are, coming into a fold. If you prefer to come into snail, which is quite strong and it's also an inversion, come to the end of your mat. And you can bring your legs all the way up and over. You might want to support your back, or you can let your knees slightly bend, toes touch. Just find whichever feels good. If you feel that you're falling forward in your hips, you can also take a blanket or a cushion under your hips and then wiggle yourself to the edge so you feel like you're tipping off. And then that might give you a bit of support to roll a little bit further forward. So just here for another 2 minutes or so, allowing yourself to really drop down into the stretch. Working into the back of the heart now. So sending the breath to expand and inflate into the back of your heart. Try let your shoulders really drop. Let your head hang heavy. And feel your entire spine opening, elongating with every inhale. Every exhale, sinking further into the stretch. It might feel nice if you're in your forward fold to gently roll your head side to side to stretch your neck. Just playing around, investigating. Maybe it might feel nice to roll the shoulders. Maybe it might feel nice to just wiggle a little bit side to side. If you're in a standing position, maybe rocking side to side might feel nice. Just here for about another 30 seconds. So when you're ready, we're going to slowly start to unravel, coming back to a seated position. Might feel nice for you to take your hands back and open the heart up, squeezing the shoulder blades together. Might feel nice for you to point and flex the feet or sway the knees side to side, roll the feet in and out if the legs are long. Just taking your time to rebound. And then when you're ready, coming into a seat, either cross-legged, maybe you might bring your bricks underneath your hips, 1 or 2, or a seat, maybe a bolster if you want to sit on your shins. So we're going to do a really beautiful breath to finish. It's called a blue lotus breath. So it's very, very simple. You just bring your hands into Namaste Anjali Mudra at your heart. And as you inhale, you breathe up. And then as you exhale, we're drawing the petals of your lotus Visualizing a massive lotus above your head, and then the hands come all the way back to prayer at your heart. So inhale is prayer goes all the way up over your head, and exhale to draw the petals of your lotus. It can be as expressive, as creative, as fluid, as big, as small, as feels good. We're shining out from our blooming lotus heart and spreading the petals of our lotus out into the ethers, expanding the energy of our heart all around us with our breath, with our visualization of our blue lotus flower. Try to make your breath nice and deep and slow. Trying to relax the shoulders. And really feeling, visualizing into the lotus. Feeling a sense of calm, peace as you draw your lotus leaves and petals. Seeing if we can really slow down the movements, slow down your breath. Sending out healing intentions from your heart of love, compassion, kindness, expansion into joy, into truth, into unity, community, and into well-being. And just taking one more blooming lotus breath. And then we can slowly bring the hands back to Namaste at the heart. Just pausing here. Breathing into your heart space once again. Drawing your lotus back into your own heart space. Bringing the mind back to your intention, your dedication. Visualizing the color of your lotus flower. Noticing any changes around your heart space. And just taking a nice deep breath in. And sighing the breath out. Relaxing, releasing any tension around the heart. And leaving you with a quote from Rumi. Your task is not to seek for love, but merely to seek and find all the barriers within yourself that you have built against it. Offering yourself so much gratitude, so much love for the beautiful, radiant human being that you are. Offering gratitude to our bodies for all that they do for us. Thank you so much, everyone, for coming to practice this evening. Bring your heads down to your heart. Namaste.